Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. This is your brother Sean Ali here, Supreme Health and Wellness by Sean Ali. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who appeared in the divine person of Master Fard Muhammad. I further bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed his last and greatest messenger, our dear leader, teacher, and guide. I could never thank these two enough for leaving behind for me and my generation a divine reminder that our Savior has arrived. And that divine reminder is none other than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in these three great names, I greet you in the greeting words of peace. Salam alaikum, family. Ramadan Mubarak for those that are participating in this holy month of Ramadan and this beautiful, awesome fast. And for those that aren't, we should all look to the science of fasting and how when we apply this, that it improves not only our mental and spiritual self, but it improves our physical body, right? And when we are looking at life, all life happens at a cellular level because we are cells. So when we're looking, this is our basic common denominator. All life happens at a cellular level, right? So we have two gears. We have life, which is meiosis, mitosis, right? This is life. And we have death, right? And that is apoptosis and necrosis. So when we're looking at this, at the cell, we have two cycles, two gears. We have life and we have death, right? So over life, we have meiosis, mitosis. This is the reproduction, right? When that cell proliferates and grows and develops. And we have necrosis and we have apoptosis, dealing with how the cell dies. Apoptosis is programmed death. So we have programmed and unprogrammed. Big differences, because apoptosis and programmed death, this is designed that when the body recognizes that it has a weak, injured, infected, aged, damaged cell, that it will program its death, break that cell down into little bitty parts, and the body will produce a brand new one, keeping you brand new, healthy, perfect, and strong. See, it programs its death before the cell divides into that imbalance. Now, necrosis is unprogrammed death. So this is when a cell in your body dies, but the body can't get rid of it because it was programmed. It wasn't programmed. It was unknowingly. Cancer, AIDS, sickle cell, all of these imbalances that happen on a cellular level that the body can't get rid of, it mostly falls under necrosis. So in How to Eat to Live, book 2, page 25. It says, experience of venturing from right food. The very words how to eat to live is one of the great values in words for us. In these words, we see and we are learning that what we put in us as food, at what time we eat that food, and what type of food we eat is the key to our life and death. We can use these words, how to eat to live, to spell how we destroy ourselves. We must look at these words and teachings of how to eat to live in a more serious way. This is why we suffer so much sickness and death. It is because we do not take how to eat to live in a more serious way. There is no common sickness that cannot be healed by proper eating of the right foods. Now, when we are looking at this, how to eat to live is a key component. And he says that it spells out how we live, save ourselves, and it spells out how we kill ourselves. So when we are looking at the cell and what programs or what interferes and what causes the cells to be either healthy and strong or weak and deficient and die. And when we are looking the number 2 actual cause of death. This is a category, the actual causes of death. Number 2 is poor diet and lack of exercise. Right? So on page 37, How to Eat to Live, book 2, this is what he says real quick, because this is going to tie right into this knowledge, this science. It says the key, chapter 11, the key to better health. There is no question, if we eat right, we live. If we eat the wrong foods, it shortens our lives. And it says 1 meal a day and nothing between that 1 meal will get you a longer life. That is, if you eat the proper food. We make ourselves sick. Do not think that sickness is something that just comes by itself, regardless to how we live. It is the way we live that makes us sick. So the way we live is also called our lifestyle, right? So when we are looking, the number 2 actual cause of death, this means that the number 2 deadliest things that we could do is a poor diet and lack of exercise. This plays out in the cells. Our lifestyle plays out in our cells, right? So we have something that's called, senescence. This is called senescence. And what this means is that when the cell gets to a certain point, right? This is senescence. When the cell gets to a certain point, it can still do its job, but it cannot proliferate or grow and develop. So senescence, or a senescent cell, is when the cell reaches a point where it can still do its function, but it cannot proliferate life. It can't grow and develop. It's not going through meiosis and mitosis anymore, such as wrinkles, right? Those wrinkles that we get, these are irreversible conditions on the cell, right? That the cell, the skin still does its job, but it's not proliferating. It's not growing and developing. They call these age-related. Senescence is called age-related, right? Issues on the cell. Now, what happens is, it's not necessarily that it's just age-related. It's the fact that we have a lifestyle for a prolonged period of time that's so unhealthy, right? That if we live 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of living an unhealthy lifestyle, it causes senescence in the cells. In the cells, they locked in. They are locked into that unhealthiness. So now they will still do the job, but they won't grow and develop. So now when they look at these cells under a microscope, so you have a regular cell, or a healthy cell, right? So a healthy cell, they have that shape with your nucleus and your organelles, right, in there. A senescent cell, it has a deformed, irregular shape. So we can look under the microscope and you can see the shape of the cell, right? So this is a healthy cell. It's smooth, it's able to do its job and function. When you're looking at a senescent cell, you can go under the microscope and you can see the condition of your body. You can see and measure how much quality of life you have left, your lifespan, right? And when we are looking at these are what we do to ourselves. So when he says on page 37, he says, there is no question. If we eat right, we live. If we eat wrong foods, it shortens our lives. So look at this. 1 meal a day and nothing between that one meal will get you a longer life. That is, if you eat the proper food. We make ourselves sick. Do not think that sickness is something that just comes by itself, regardless to how we live. It is the way we live that makes us sick. It is played out in the cells. So the way you live will be a lifestyle that's healthy, and you will have healthy cells, and you will have an abundance amount of life in front of you. If not, you will create that cell senescence, where the cell can do its job, but it's no longer proliferating life. It can no longer grow and develop, and you get stuck. And now you are on your way to your premature death. So he says to us, listen, he says, page 41, How to Eat to Live, book 2. Fasting is a greater cure of our ills, both mentally and physically, than all of the drugs of the earth combined into one bottle or into a billion bottles. Allah, in the person of Mustafa Muhammad, has taught me that fasting and the right kind of food are the cures to our ills. He has told me there is no cure in drugs and medicine. In this, the world is now learning. We can take medicine all of our lives until it kills us, but we are still ailing with the same old diseases. Now listen, the bad food and drinks we are putting into our bodies keep us a victim to illness. There are not too many nice doctors who would tell you that drugs are not good for you because they are paid for their learning and want to keep practicing. But how to eat to live is what we want to know and have wanted to know all of our lives. Every man or woman wants to know how he or she can prolong his or her life. Woo! Now look, nature teaches us to stay here in this life as long as we can. Nature has never taught anyone that he should leave this life and find another one somewhere else, because we only have one life. Now, the life happens in our cells. So he says, now we are killing ourselves. We are polluting ourselves. We are toxifying ourselves. We are filling ourselves up with the wrong food at the wrong time, right? So the cell has become polluted. Remember, there are 2 types of death. There's 2 main types. There's also a third. We have apoptosis and necrosis. Apoptosis is programmed death. Necrosis is unprogrammed death. There's also another way. Listen, it's called autophagy. 2 words, auto, self. Auto and phagy. Auto means self, phagy means eat. Self-eat. So the body, what happens is when we stop eating, So he says fasting is the cure, right? Is the cure. Fasting is our cure. So when we fast when we stop eating for 15 to 18 hours, right? What happens is that because the body will still need energy, nutrients to continue to to promote life, to live, right? So what happens is when we stop putting food and drink in our body still needs energy and it still needs things to keep it going. So what it does is it takes an inventory. It takes an inventory of the body and it will look at these cells, right? Look, it will look at these cells. So if it has a choice between a senescent cell and a healthy cell, guess what it's going to do? It's going to get that senescent cell. It's going to break it down. It's a little bitty part, right? Using it for energy and the building blocks. And it's going to get rid of that cell. And now, when we fast, if you look up fasting and you look up something called stem cells, woo, look, stem cells. Every tissue, almost every tissue in your body has the ability to produce its own stem cell. The liver, the lungs, the heart, the intestines, the bones, the brain. Within the tissue of each particular organ, they have their own stem cells that they can produce to maintain their own life. So stem cells are like that blank key, right? So look, what happens is I'm going to show you how we can save our cells and fasting becomes the cure. So look, we have these stem cells. So you stop eating, you activate autophagy. Autophagy is going in the body and it's self-eating. It's going to self-eat the bad things first. Let's say it finds a senescent cell. It breaks it down and gets rid of it. Okay, now the body still needs homeostasis. It still needs to be balanced. So once we are under the fasting, the body now will activate, stimulate, because stem cells have to be stimulated. It's something called quiescence. Quiescence. This is the state of a cell where it's alive, but it's not activated. It's not proliferating in life. It's not growing and developing, but it's there. These are stem cells. They are quiescent cells. They are waiting. They need to be stimulated. They need to be activated. We have to do something to cause the body to activate the stem cells. There are two main ways that we cause the activation of stem cells: exercise and fasting. Woo! Listen, when you exercise and you go and you lifting weights, right? See, you tear the muscle, but you're also causing muscle growth. And then that exercise is a stimulation of stem cells. That's how you're getting that muscle growth, that new muscle mass, right? So when we go through autophagy or when we fast, and we fast for a certain amount of time. Now, fasting to activate the stem cells, you need about 2 to 4 days of fasting. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we have a unity fast where every month for 3 days out of the month, we fast. Listen, so not only do you put yourself to autophagy, where your body will clean up the worn, diseased, aged, injured cells, but you also stimulate the stem cells that your body is already have in them. And now those stem cells, they go and replace. So you remove and you replace, right? It's an exchange. And now at the end of the fast, look, at the end of the fast, you come out feeling better, stronger, lighter, healthier. You look younger. Our Savior has arrived. We looking at page 114. Listen, page 114, our Savior has arrived. It says that also in the Bible, Isaiah mentions the long life of the righteous in these words, that a person 100 years old will be like a child, meaning that their age will never cause them to look old. They will have the freshness of youth, says the prophet Isaiah, and the Holy Quran also verifies the same. Allah, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, out of his mouth, his own mouth, said to me that he causes us to grow into a new growth, and that we would have the look and the energy of one who is 16 years of age, and our youth and energy of a 16-year-old would last forever. Man, look. So when we are looking, this is in a combination with How to Eat to Live. Because on page 37, remember, look, page 37. 1 meal a day and nothing between that one meal will get you a longer life. That is, if you eat the proper food. We make ourselves sick. Do not think that sickness is something that just comes by itself, regardless to how we live. It is the way we live that makes us sick. So we've been given a formula. We've been given a lifestyle that is the opposite of one that makes you sick. So now, instead of one that's making you sick, you are making yourself healthier and strong and younger. So when he says that Master Fard Muhammad will cause us to grow into a new growth by giving us a dietary plan, that once we apply it, it's happening at the cells, because we are cells. So now, at a cellular level, apoptosis is happening. Look, when you are normal, when you are regular, we have apoptosis. Apoptosis is designed to get rid of weak, injured, infected, aged cells. This is something that's put in us, but it is our lifestyle that interferes with apoptosis. But God gave us a backup. If we fast, if we stop eating, you don't have to buy nothing, drink nothing, spend your money, or go nowhere. Only thing you have to do is stop eating for a particular period of time, and you will activate, stimulate autophagy, and your body will clean itself up. And if you stay in that mode of fasting and you fast for 2 to 4 days, now you will activate and stimulate the production of your stem cells. See, not only will you fix yourself, you will improve yourself. The life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. Look, page 102, How to Eat to Live, book 1. He says, beautiful appearance and long life. Ooh, that is an awesome title. Beautiful appearance and long life. It says we cannot be successful in making the progress of a spiritual life unless we have the guidance for the physical life. This guidance comes to us through the laws, rules, and regulations of our physical life. This is what we are talking about. Our physical life happens at the cellular level. So we must know the laws, the rules, and the regulations of that cellular level. And then if we all we have to do is live accordingly. The body is designed to do its own work, right? It says, listen, we must make this teaching of eating once a day binding upon us as a law in order to get any good from it as Allah desires. The purpose of these dietary laws in the time that we should partake of food is to lengthen our lives by ridding us of the greedy desire to eat 3 times a day in between meals if we are offered food. The main purpose of this teaching how to eat to live is to prolong our lives. All praises due to Allah. What a beneficent and merciful and awesome God. He came to prolong our lives. He came to give us the science, the technology to save ourselves. But this type of spiritual advancement doesn't come unless we are operating under the physical laws. That's our anatomy and our physiology. But if we don't know our anatomy, if we don't know and understand our physiology, then we could easily lead ourselves in the wrong direction and become hard to lead ourselves in the right direction, right? Page 103, look, the next page, page 103. It says, it has come to us, and Allah has said that it is ourselves that He is giving to us. Should we not accept the good of ourselves instead of accepting evil and disobedience to the law of goodness when the Bible verifies the truth? Why should you and not I not accept such good teaching and practice it? It will do away with sickness and keep death standing outside of our doors for a long time, for many years. Listen, think over Methuselah and Noah, who kept death standing outside of their door for nearly 1,000 years. Man, so it's up to us. Look, I want to leave and close with page 52. How to live more than 100 years, right? Page 52, chapter 19. How to live more than 100 years. Allah has taught me in the person of Master Fard Muhammad how to eat to live so that I also may teach you. He desires to extend our lives from a short span averaging 62 to a span of 1,000 years, or for as long as we desire to live. He said that there is no set time for us to die. We kill ourselves daily by means of what we think, what we eat, and what we drink. So look, when he says that there is no set time for us to die, he desires to extend our lives from a short span averaging 62 years. See, what happens is, look, we come into this world eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eating the hog, eating all kind of animal meats, eating all kind of products that aren't food, right? So we do this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And what happens is we build up that cell senescence. So now they call this age related. That means you have been doing something for a prolonged period of time, that age. And now you have accumulated damage. So by the time you get to the 60s, your cells, they are senescent. They can do their function, but they can't proliferate life. Meaning that, yes, you can live, but there's no life in you. Yes, you can get up and move, but you're not moving into abundant life. That's our lifestyle. That's the lifestyle we were born into here in America. So when our God, our Savior has arrived, He studied our condition and gave for you and I a program, a plan that if we apply it, not only will we become healthy. Not only will we become healed, not only will we become strong, but he comes to take away death and give life, life more abundantly. But we gotta want it for ourselves. We have to want it for ourselves, because it is up to us to pick ourselves up and to move our arms and our legs into the action of eating to live. Man, we have power in fasting. If you stop eating for 15 to 18 hours, you're going to kick in autophagy, and your body will go through self-eat all of the bad things. And if you continue to stop eating for 2 to 4 days, you will stimulate and activate your stem cells. You will take them out of a state of quiescence into a state of differentiation. Well, now they will start to grow and develop, and they will do their job. And they will become what the old cell was. You will have a new cell. Now, that's the key, family. Now you're on the way to your growth and development. Now you're on the way to your abundant life. But that is all up to us. I just wanted to come and share with us the science of how to eat to live. Look, one more page. How to eat. Our Savior has arrived. Page 119. Because we have science in these books. And as a believer, it's my duty to apply this upon myself because I believe in it. But as your brother, see, as your brother, and I have witnessed the benefits of these teachings. As your brother, it moves me to come and share with you this great, valuable, awesome news. Our Savior has arrived. Black people here in America, we surely have needed a Savior, right? Savior has arrived. So look, page 119. To make all things new means to go to the very root of everything that exists. We are taught that we ourselves will become a new people. The Holy Quran teaches that he would cause the righteous to grow into a new growth. The Bible prophesies that you, the righteous, will be changed in the twinkling of an eye. The disciples of Paul did not know exactly what you would look like in that change form, but they concluded you will be like him alive. Man, that is beautiful. Listen, if you want to get a copy of your insurance policies, these are the real life insurance policies, because you're not paying on your death, you're paying on your life. See, you're not investing in your death, in what would happen to you if you die. You are investing in your life and putting in front of you a lifespan so you can do all of those things. Woo! Listen, our Savior has arrived. Get your copies, www.finalcall.com, www.noi.org. Family, I leave you as I came in the greeting words of peace. Salam alaikum.